Good morning once again, and thank you for watching Sunrise at Sea. If you just joined us, you are right in time for our views this morning with myself, Sandra Cobb, and the ladies, Shivan and Sarah. Now, the topic of discussion this morning on our views, will be discussing self-sabotage. Yes. Have you gotten that job that you've always wanted, or you've gotten that promotion, you've gotten into the relationship of your dreams, and then you start second-guessing yourself. You start telling yourself, can I really do this? Am I good enough? Then you start indulging in behavior that is counterproductive to what you want, ending up self-sabotaging, of course. Well, would love to hear what you think about this. What are your fears? Tell us, what are your triggers? Head on to our social media pages at CTV Uganda and let us know what you think. Well, ladies, before we get into it, before I ask you if you self-sabotage, let's look at what self-sabotaging means. And self-sabotage is when you actively or passively take steps to prevent yourself from reaching your goals. It is behavior or thought patterns that hold you back and prevent you from doing what you want to do, and can affect nearly every aspect of your life, be it in a relationship, a career goal, or a personal goal, such as weight loss. So ladies, have you experienced this? Do you self-sabotage?
I'm sipping my tea. Why are you people laughing? But yes, I do self-sabotage, especially when it comes to relationships. I am the worst. Actually, I'm my biggest problem. And I guess it's because of traumas, or rather why people would self-sabotage when they finally get something that it is that they want. It's probably traumas it caused that cause low self-esteem, or cause imposter syndrome.
Yes.
You know, where you don't think that you are deserving of being in that situation, whether it's a relationship or a job, or it could just be even when somebody surprises you with a gift, and then you now
start overthinking.
You overthink it, and then you overreact and freak out, and now you have ruined the surprise and the party for everybody. So yes, I do self-sabotage.
And you, Shivan?
I think it happens for me both consciously and subconsciously, especially unconsciously. I mean, like, you know when things happen in your life and you're in shock and you're like, can I really do this? Or even when you have finished doing it, you're like, wait, did I actually do this? No, this wasn't me. And then your mind is just in a whole frenzy, and you do not believe that you can actually do what you ought to do yet. At most cases, your greatest fear is actually what you can pull off best. I mean, many times in my work, in my journey, the different things I have done, the different assignments I have undertaken, all the different tasks that I have been afraid of doing, or where I thought I wouldn't give my best, I have gone beyond and above. So I asked myself, why was I worried in the first place? But then I'm thinking, it is sort of my way of like pushing myself when I'm thinking, I don't think I can do it. When I finally do it, or when I'm doing it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to prove this person's wrong. I'm going to prove that I can actually do it, and I'm going to do this for me. So usually when I'm doing something, I'm thinking, okay, who would you want to probably see you, or who are you thinking about at that time, or what motivates you to do what you're doing, so that I am not self-sabotaging myself.
The thing about self-sabotage is that you find yourself unconsciously doing or repeating patterns that just destroy whatever it is you're trying to build. It could be a relationship, and because you are heartbroken in the last relationship, so when you find another person who is now caring and loving, you look at them like, where's the catch? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, this is too good to be true. And then now you start finding yourself engaging in destructive behavior, like picking up fights, unnecessary fights. You are always suspicious about what it is that they're doing. So when they ask about, hey, how is your mom? Why are you asking about my mom? Do you know how? Why do you want to ask about my mom? Don't talk about my family. You're self-sabotaging.
And maybe he just wants to meet your family. He wants to get to know you better.
Exactly. He just, you know, innocently and honestly and sincerely wants to know. But now, because of the trauma that you have faced before, you probably were heartbroken by somebody, and they used to do that. Now this person is doing it. You're like, it's a trick. Not today, Satan.
There's a catch.
Yeah, there's a catch to it, and now you're picking up fights. Actually, people who always pick up unnecessary fights and get easily irritable, it could be that you're self-sabotaging yourself and not being moody. It's just the fright kicks in, and then now you are on this road of distraction, blowing up everything as you go. Yes.
True. Well, let's look at the causes of self-sabotaging, and you have hinted on this. And one of them is limiting beliefs. Now, this is quite true, because when you think about it, our beliefs are the blueprint of our actions.
That's
it all
true.
begins in the mind. And I remember this. I was reading a book, and this really stuck with me. It says, be very careful what you think about yourself, because what you think about yourself is who you eventually become. That's what manifests. Yeah. So limiting beliefs, and when you get to think of it, the beliefs that we have are not actually our own. Maybe very little are, because I feel they are deeply ingrained from our family, the way we are brought up.
True.
Or by our friends, people you hang out with. I mean, show me your friends and I'll know what kind of person
you are.
you are. Or maybe by the media or by the society. So this can cripple your thinking and really impede you from chasing your dreams and living to your full potential. So you're just paralyzed with these beliefs. You don't believe you can do it. And if you don't believe you can do it, then you won't be able to do it anyways. And past traumas, like you said, Sarah, and we face this. Everybody has had a traumatic experience. It could be rejection, it could be assault, yeah, abandonment, and then you grow up feeling unworthy or angry, you're depressed, you have anxiety and all this. So this can manifest in past traumas and irrational fears. Now we all have one fear. Everybody has one fear, the fear of failure. This, we all share it. Because when you fail, you feel you're not competent, you're not good enough. Yeah, and then you feel that fear, you know, that how could I not do this? You feel so deflated, actually. You feel so deflated. But another irrational fear that goes very unnoticed is the fear of success. The fear of success, because then you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to get out of your comfort zone. It comes with responsibility, commitment, pressure, and then your identity changes. So that can also be overwhelming, because you don't know it's the unknown, and you're like, can I measure up to this? So this is one of the things that
Also the fear of looking stupid.
Yes.
Remember, like in school during assembly, and there were people who would be like, I cannot go there, like, don't push me.
Yes.
I don't want people to laugh at me. The fear of looking stupid is also one.
It's wasting a lot of time.
It's wasting a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, let's look at what are the telltale signs for you that you're self-sabotaging. How do you know, like, okay, now, does it come consciously or subconsciously? Can you pinpoint when it comes to, because it's very difficult to take a very good hard look at yourself, you know? Other people can tell you, but most of the times it's not easy for you to realize that you're self-sabotaging.
I have come to a place in my life where I'm aware of my toxic traits and my ridiculousness. So I can tell when I'm starting to self-sabotage. The thing is, I cannot stop myself from self-sabotaging.
But you know this is happening.
But I know I'm doing it, and I'm like, Sarah, it's like something lights up in my head, and then you open your eyes and you're like, oh my goodness, you start, freaking out, literally even shaking your body, but you cannot stop. I cannot stop myself in this path of self-destruction. It happens, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, it happened. Can we have a conversation about this? Okay, can we have a conversation about this? Let me explain. But you see, not a lot of people have the patience to understand when you start to explain after you have put them in a very awful situation. When you lash out at them, when you become abusive in one way or the other, because when you do that, you're now also putting them in a position where they're going to react in a way that is going to further
blow it
out of proportion.
I agree, but I feel like most people lack emotional intelligence in such situations, because I think you need to track back and get to understand, why does this person act the way they do? What did they face?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe they are clingy because they were abandoned, and they're clingy. They think you're going to leave them. Maybe
True.
they are angry, they are lashing out. Maybe they were assaulted.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you need to track back and understand, why does this person act the way they do?
So to figure out the person who is, just blowing things out of proportion, or when it happens to you, you find out, why am I,
Both ways.
why is this pattern always, continue? You know the
Yeah.
saying that goes that you can't do something the same way all the time and expect different results.
That's insanity.
So if you find yourself doing the same thing and you're using the same mechanism or same reasoning in every relationship, or when you go and chase for every job and it is not working out, then you're probably self-sabotaging, right?
True, true.
Yeah.
But to give an insight as to the question, Sandra, that you asked, I think self-sabotage, in my perspective, leans almost towards self-esteem or self-confidence. I'll give an example. When I was in school, many times I would be scared to walk, like let's say we're in the dinner hall and we're having, let's say, lunch, or maybe after prep and we're eating. I would always be scared to walk up and walk, like get up and walk. Why? Because in my mind I would be thinking, oh, they're looking at me, probably they're looking at my legs. And then you even fail to walk. You're literally self-sabotaging yourself. Or probably you wake up in the morning and you're supposed to make a presentation, and you think that everyone is actually going to be looking out for the mistakes, or someone is looking and maybe your makeup is not well done, my nails are chipped, and then you're literally self-sabotaging yourself. You might find that half the time people are not even bothered about how you're looking or how you're walking or how your hair looks. It's just all in your mind.
That's
so
true.
It is an issue of self-confidence, self-esteem, but also it is all in your mind. In most times when self-sabotaging happens, it's only in your mind, because the other people are not bothered about what's going on. Actually, on the
They don't
contrary,
even know most of
they
the
believe
time.
that you can do it. Or most of the time they're like, if then in school I would explain to my friends what I was going through, they would probably say, for us, we'd be eating our food and we have not even realized that Shivan has stood up. So why are you making it such a big deal? So I think it all goes back to controlling how we think about, or our thoughts inside our heads. Like, be cautious. What are you taking into your mind? Also, it's very important that you surround yourself with positive quotes around yourself, like, I can do it. If
Yeah.
it fails, I'll do it tomorrow better. Try again tomorrow.
Also check your friends.
That's true.
Friends can be the biggest, what's the word?
Catalyst
of
to
self-sabotage.
self-sabotage, yeah.
Or they can put things in your head,
yeah.
and then tell you, no, that is not true.
Yeah.
How could you have gotten those marks? Maybe there was a mistake. Go and recount
They
those
carve
marks.
out your beliefs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They start to amplify your insecurities, and then they just catalyze
Minimize
that.
your strengths.
Exactly, and then put you in a place where you're self-sabotage. By the way, I have a friend who's made me self-sabotage a very nice relationship.
Oh, yeah.
With the Muslim guy.
Yeah, that conversation.
That one, she's Muslim, so she told me, he's going to get a second wife. He's even going to get up to 4. You're not going to be the only one. And you're Catholic, he's not going to marry. So I was like, listen, I went there and blew things out of proportion. So it's important, check your friends. If you have friends who speak to your insecurities and your weaknesses, the ones who highlight those and just catalyze those ones, those are friends you need to throw out. You need friends who are going to give you all the false confidence you need, who are going to, okay, you feel this way, but have you seen, like Shivan, your friend should have been like, you're afraid to walk. Do you know how beautiful your legs are? Come
strut your stuff.
Strut away. Those are friends that you need, who are just going to, trivialize your insecurities and just build on your, your strengths.
Your confidence. That is quite true, as the ladies said. And we'll take a quick look at self-sabotaging behavior and a poor work life. Now, this is, you get this job that you've always wanted, and then you're procrastinating. Yeah, you're indecisive. You're not making decisions at work. You're overworking. You're unprofessional. These are some of the telltale signs in the work life. And people pleasing. Saying yes when you really want to do is say no. Yeah, over apologizing, not creating those healthy boundaries with your friends and people around you. And inner passivity. Inner passivity is letting other people make decisions for you. You're like, it's okay. Okay, I'll just go along with that. Or keeping yourself in a situation that you know is bad for you, but you're just there. You're just so passive. You don't want to take responsibility. You play the victim. Yeah, those are the telltale signs of that. And of course, like Shivan said, low self-esteem. I think this is self-explanatory. Low self-esteem and addictions. You can be addicted to work. You have gotten this nice relationship, but you're always at work because you're sabotaging that. I'm working, or you end up over drinking or going into drugs and many other addictions. Plus blocking happiness, success, and well-being. Just dwelling on those negative thoughts.
Small heartbreak.
Yeah, I can't do this.
What do you
Small
mean?
small rejection because your last potential employer said no, or they gave the promotion to someone else. Then
That's
you
not
start.
small
It
rejection,
is small
Sarah.
rejection. Eh?
Well, let's take a look at this quick video, and this lady talks about self-sabotage. I really love that, and one thing that stuck with me, self-sabotage, is the contraction before expansion. So you just want like to coil in, and you're afraid to venture out before you go out, and then you just go back to your insecurity, and you have this ruminating, ruminating thoughts, like they keep on playing. You can't do this, you can't do that. And we're going to look at how to stop self-sabotaging behaviors. And one is embrace your shadows. Now, all of us have had things that we are not proud of, or something that happened to us that we carry with us. Maybe you used to be an alcoholic, yeah? Maybe you used to be a thief. Whatever it is, everyone has their own demons,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I learned something, that if you embrace your faults, no one can use them against you.
That's absolutely
Embrace
true.
them. Because when you embrace these faults and you have these shadows, embracing them, that is the light that illuminates them. That really stuck with me. And nurture your inner child. This is very important because you know how children are? Everything is possible. They dream big, they dare to dream. So dare to dream as well, and balance your masculine and feminine sides. Now the masculine nature goes outward. Men want to do, they want to achieve, they want to solve, they want to create and protect. And the feminine nature goes inward. We want to be, we want to manifest, we want to surrender, we want to love and care. Now, as you see there on your screen, the feminine side is the yin, and the masculine side is the yang. Now, if these two sides are not balanced, if you look at the bottom, if you are a woman and you're not balanced with your masculine side, then you become needy, you become confused, you play martyrdom, and you're depressed. And for the guy side, if you're not balanced with your feminine side, you become forcing, rigid, dominating, and anxious. So it is very, very crucial to balance these two sides of yourself. And fourthly is connect with your higher self. Now you do this through meditation, walking in nature, journaling. Keeping a journal is really, really motivating, you know, because then you get to go back a few years and you see that you are fighting with this particular thing. And then you look at yourself then and you're like, oh my gosh, I got through that. So journaling can really show you how far you've come. It's quite important. I do it myself. And then self-talk. Affirmations, yes, Shivan is the queen of affirmations, which is very good. It is quite, you know, energizing. And visualization. Visualize yourself, yeah, being where you want to be. It all starts in the mind. So create it in your mind, and break through your self-sabotaging behaviors. State what you want or don't want. That's very, very crucial in every area. Or if it's in a relationship, if it's at work, just state it. Identify your fears. And this is what Sarah said, like, why do you go to that place? Track back and see why you feel that way when you're in a certain situation. And then find out what's behind it. Exactly. Why do you feel like that? Yeah, find out what's behind that. And then change your reality. This is very, very crucial. Change your reality, because you can't stay in the same place and then expect different results.
That's true.
You can't. So just before we wrap up, I'm going to read some comments of people from Twitter, and then they say, I fear I might not be enough. I fear I might run out of drive. I fear the unknown. And Kitale Tony says, it's okay to recognize when it isn't the right time to take on more, and doing so will likely make me more productive in other assignments.
Absolutely.
While Harmony K256 says, so many times, but I have come to learn that self-sabotaging behavior is triggered by how we view ourselves as human beings, not to mention the constant fear of us destroying the things we wanted most. And this is what Sarah said as well, all which is valid but stems from trauma. I think we can all relate with this. And lastly, Kenneth Agaba says it all usually stems out of low self-esteem and fear. And this is what Shivan said, especially the fear of messing things up, the fear of failure, not trusting in a higher power to see you through. Well, any parting shots, ladies, to the people watching about self-sabotage and how to go about it?
Your fear of looking stupid is wasting a lot of time. I keep on saying that because it's actually true. Like, what's the worst thing that could ever happen? And also, I liked the thing in how to, you know, stop self-sabotaging. Identify your fears and speak to them. A lot of people are imprisoned by their pasts and are very ashamed of the things that they have gone through. They are very ashamed of having, you know, been unemployed or rejected for a job position, or being heartbroken, or being abused, whatever the situation may be. Speak to that demon, because when you speak to it, nobody can use it against you. It won't be used. So, you know, speak to that demon, and fear, just close your eyes and go ahead and do it. Like, go for it. Whatever it is that you want, go for it. The worst that could happen is a no.
Well, that was all we had for you today on Our Views Part 1, and it's about self-sabotage. But we would like to hear from you, your fears. What leads you to self-sabotage? Please head on to our social media pages at CTV Uganda, and don't forget to use the hashtag CTV Sunrise. Don't go away, because Sivan is up next with yet another interesting conversation this morning. Don't blink.